Alrighty, so how's it going today? So it's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's not. I think it's kind of melting though a little bit because with the wind it's supposed to be about 25, but really it's supposed to be about 30. So 35 or somewhere around there. Anyway, brought the snow shovels up and I brought the rake back here because we don't need that. That's not going to move much for snow. So I had a little bit of trouble getting the posts in earlier today. That's what I was trying to do. And everything's so slushy too. And I'll show you the little bit of snow we got in some places where the sun can't get to it. It's mostly the roads that are covered in snow because it's not as warm, I guess, as the grass. But yeah, so yeah, the road plow guy was out today. He scraped the roads, the main roads, and apparently I doubled the strike, got a big dumping of snow. He's supposed to be getting, I think, more too. They had us in for a blizzard or whatever, and first they said they were only supposed to get about 1 inch or something stupid like that. Then they changed it, I think, to like 3 or 4 inches, and now I think it's back to 1 inch again. So they don't really know what the hell's going on. They never really know until it actually freaking happens, which why they even say it's going to happen, I don't know, because they can never get shit right anyway. But anyways, I'd put in the reflective tape on those posts last night, and I let the posts sit in the house overnight just so the tape would stick, and I think they'll stick now, but it's probably going to somewhat help. And then if they crash into them, well, first of all, it's private property, so you damage private property, and you're not supposed to be down this road, you know, and but I'll show you the post here anyway. But I just got done talking to the guy that put up, you know, these no truck signs or whatever. We had told him early on to get some signs made up and to get them going through the town, the thingy or whatever for the town, so then if a trucker was to do it again, they could get fined. Like, it could actually get, the truckers could actually get fined now for doing it. So basically meaning, I guess if they hit them or damage them, whatever, I think I can just, I'm not sure how it would work. I guess either I would call the cops or whatever, and the cops can actually get involved now, you know, for damages to however many posts that they damage. And these things are like $6 a piece or whatever, for, you know, and it's like, well, we got the receipt, and I'm going to make a video of it for evidence too, and Mother took a picture for more evidence. So, but yeah, I bought these posts at Hardware Hank, and, you know, so, and they are, you know, mine, and it's my property, and I don't appreciate fucking truckers driving on my yard damaging it. So I had a cocksucking time getting them in the ground. The first one went in pretty good, but they all went in crooked. When you're doing it by yourself, you're never going to get them straight, and I couldn't get my uncle out to help, so he just wasn't coming around. So I was like, screw it. These are supposed to be 6-footers, but they're sure in the hell ain't 6 feet. I don't know, but I guess they're a little bit dirt. These are some real posts. I mean, they're better than what the other guy had in here. I mean, he just had driveway markers. which ain't gonna do fuck all. Well, now if he should actually hit these, he's going to be doing some damage to his truck too. He's going to be bending the bumper. He's going to possibly even blow a tire. You know, so it's kind of the. Well, I talked to the guy anyway, and he said that he had ordered those signs, and then from there they had to go through the town. You know, so then if something did happen, we could actually go after the truckers now, and you know, but he said that they should be in today, though, he thinks. But this is what I did, and this is not ideal. I was thinking about doing a couple of other things too, a couple of other cheap things. I know that would probably help. I was actually thinking of maybe getting some cones, maybe some orange cones or some lime green cones, and sticking them on top. Because you can get cheap ones on Northern Tool for $8-10. Well, about that, $8 or $10 a piece. And I'd only need two. Oh, I left my screwdriver fell. Oh shit, can't leave that here. Fell out of the damn four-wheeler. You weren't supposed to fall off my four-wheeler, you little bitch. So it's not perfect. I'm honestly not. I honestly don't give a shit if they're perfect or not. I mean, that's what you even want them to be perfect if you're going to do a professional job, but I don't do nothing professionally. I do it half-assed and it works. So I got nowhere to stick these goddamn screwdrivers in my pockets. But yeah, they're crooked. They're leaning and they're not straight, but this can actually do a good thing too, though. So there's the these are supposed to be 6-foot tall posts, and I only drove them in to where the spikes are. There's little spikes on these things. I drove them in, obviously into the ground, but once they disappeared in the ground, I stopped. Because if you go much deeper than that, then they're going to really be a pain in the ass to get them back out. But you're not going to get them out as they are now. But the first two, get over here, you can see them better. The first two have more tape on them than the rest of them do, because those two are going to be more important than the rest of them. The rest of them are just there to, help. And it's got red tape on there. This is probably not ideal, but it'll work. It's got red tape and it's got some silver tape, which is already coming off. Great. But it's better than nothing. And it's got a piece down there. That's kind of all the tape I had left, so I used up all of it. But I mean, they're not straight, and they're never going to be. But what I was thinking of doing was maybe getting a couple of maybe lime green cones and putting one on like the end, and then maybe putting one down here. Okay, so one would go down here, and then just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then, don't know what the guy plans on doing with his signs, but what I planned on doing, I really didn't know. I was thinking about maybe taking that sign down and getting another post and then driving it in front of it, and then the sign would be pointing that direction. And that's their temporary bullshit sign there. That stupid thing isn't going to do any good, but he said it was just temporary, which, well, it still never worked anyway, because just a few days ago, there was a trucker that was attempting to make his turn down this fucking road, which, well, I think he saw that sign, so then he stopped and went he just kept on going straight then at that point. So, but he was thinking about making that turn, because I heard him slowing down and downshifting. But if they're going to put a sign in here, they need to put in a big post. and then have it angled. And he said he ordered about 3 of them. He says that he's going to put one down their ways to give them a warning. So, but that's what I did. And I don't know exactly how good the reflective tape will be, but you know, the posts do have a white tip to them, so that kind of helps. And they are angled in such a direction too, so if I wanted to tie something on here, I could. They're all angled. They're all angled in this direction pretty much. That one, the first one, I think that one's pointing more that direction, so it really should, if you put a sign on there, it should really be noticeable. And what happened to that guy? He wasn't riding his bike. I didn't want to get him in video, so, well, I guess he turned off. Well, I guess it's okay then. Yeah, this one's a lot more angled than the rest of them. No, actually, well, see, it's kind of bent though. I don't know what the hell happened. I drove it in crooked, and I didn't bother. I mean, it's not straight, but it'll still work. It'll definitely put more of a hurting on the truck that way. But this one and this one are angled in that direction, so I could put signs on these two, and then if I put a third one in, I could put signs on there. But the rest of them are not angled as bad because they don't need to really be, they're not really going to hold anything. So they're still angled, and then these two are less angled because they're not going to do anything. They're just there to, you know, keep them off the yard. Because what happens is that they make their turn even past, like there's a track right there, so they come in way in. And then this one, I mean, they turn off my property there, but I didn't want to have to put in another freaking, I could easily probably put in another 4 or 5 posts right there, but I don't think I need to. I think that should be enough. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe getting a couple of cones and then just putting them on top and then tying them down so the wind can't take them off, and then just to give it some more reflection. It's really only the very first one and the very last one that need it, because the rope ply guy needs to be able to see them. He needs to be able to at least see this one, because if he sees one, then he'll probably most likely see the rest of them then after that. Like I said, I'm not sure how good the reflective tape is. If it's really all that good at all, I don't know. But maybe I'll get a couple of cones on payday, and then I'll slap one up on the first one, and then one on this last one here. But yeah, if I didn't know when he was going to order that, that sign. He said they had to get it made, and then he had to get it verified by the town or whatever. So the signs are, you know, more, they're actually going to do something now, instead of, whereas these kind of don't really do anything, you know. They do work, but they don't stop every fucking one. So, I'm going to see what he does. I want to catch him too when he's doing it and tell him, put it on an angle. They're not going to see it if it's straight like that sign is. They don't see that. It's too late before they see that. So, if I can catch him, I'll tell him to angle it. If it's going to put it on a post, I don't know if he's going to drive one on the ground or not. But he kind of needs to angle it, because most times they come from that direction anyway, so hardly ever do they ever come from this direction. Well, they really can't, because if they do come from that way, it's because they've come in that way, and they're not supposed to, I guess. They're supposed to only come this way, go past my house, turn again, and then load, whatever, and then go straight out that way, and then they hook a left, and then they leave. So that's what they're supposed to do, but some of them don't follow the rules. So nice little Chevy, freaking right. But yeah, I don't know. You know, that definitely, if they definitely whack into them, it'll do more than just Well, it's going to smash their bumper for one thing. It's going to really wreck their bumper. Which again, private property. The sheriff said I should really put them right up to the edge of the road, which would be kind of right here pretty much, right? Well, I couldn't do that because there's too much frost there now. So, and that's why another reason why they're not perfectly aligned is because there's frost in certain places. You have to find where there's no frost. So that's why they're jagged like that, because they're, you know, because the frost was in the way, so I had to work around the frost. But man, when you hit fucking frost, you ain't driving these bitches in. Hell, when I was trying to drive the second one in with a sledgehammer, I drove all these in with a sledgehammer. I don't have a post pounder. We have it at the farm, but it's broken. It needs to be re-welded, but I think I'd hit that with a stick welder. Plus my MIG welder's not big enough for that kind of steel. And plus my welding steels are shit too, so I don't like to go crazy on the weld jobs. But yeah, so I just couldn't get them in. And I started coming out here at about 11:30 in the morning, and I started working on this first one here, and I got that one when it's smooth because it's actually wet there because it holds water right there. So that whole part of the ground is just soggy wet. So that's why there had to be a post there, because they were mushing up the yard too much. So, but yeah, I'm going to see what he does for a sign, and then again, if I think it's piss poor designing, I'll have to take over and do it myself next summer and actually put an 8-foot tall post there, and then put their sign on it. I got a car coming here, so let this car get out of the way here. So that's about all I can do. I'll take that Dodge Ram though. Fucking rights. But yeah, so everyone's leaving the school now. So, but yeah, that's all I think I can do now, is maybe just throw a couple of small cones on top, and that will help brighten them up a little bit. That'll get them definitely a lot more noticeable. And wait and see what they do with their damn signs. That's why I would want to. That's why I want to try to catch them before they start driving anything in the ground, because I can tell them where to fucking put it, because I know where all these truckers are. I know where they drive. I've seen enough of it to know what the fuck they do, So, but yeah, and then the posts, they're a little over 7. Well, most of them are just about 7 feet apart. So more than enough for the John Deere to slip in between them fine, because the deck's only 62 inches wide, and that's what I was going off of. So should be able to slip her in between there now. The road plow guy won't be happy about it, but too fucking bad. Go across the fucking street with it, then plow it into the neighbor's yard, then he's got a ditch there, he ain't gonna care. So, and that's the other problem too, is with the road plow guy. He always thought he had to, turn into my yard so far in there, and it's not necessary. So, your job is to plow the road, not plow my yard and think that you can stack snow 10 feet into my yard, and then tear up my sod in the process. That's why I'm getting so freaking pissed off, but after yelling at them, they kind of lessened up on it now, so they're not nicking it as hard. So, but yeah, that I think should help. I mean, they're not 8 feet tall, but they're a lot more money too, the bigger ones. So, which, well, depending on how they do with their damn signs, if they don't angle them correctly, I'll have to correct it then for them, and they'll have to I'll either have to try to catch them, or I'll just have to do it then next summer and try to, put another, because if you put it on the stop sign, they're not going to see it. That's the problem. They're not going to see it. It needs to be out there where they can see it. So if they put another post in front of my post, like an 8-foot tall one or even a 10-footer, I would get a 10-footer because then you can drive it in further in the ground. You really don't have to be, I don't think, any higher than 8 feet. But I figure if you get a 10-footer, you can drive it in 2 or 3 feet, and it's, you know, it's way in the ground. You know, and then the frost really can't push them out. So I don't know what the frost will do to these, but I don't think they're coming out. So see what this car's doing. He's on that back road. But yeah, so that's what I did. And I smell skunk bad. I think a skunk must have sprayed over here. That's all I've been fucking smelling all day today. I'm a skunk. Stupid. But yeah, that should it'll definitely put a hurting on them if they do whack into them. It'll definitely put a hurting on them. And I called the guy today to tell him about that, ask him about that stupid sign. And I told him about this, that I drove some 6-footers in the ground, and he says, well, that should help. You know, I mean, if they have to learn stuff the hard way, they're going to have to learn it the hard way then, because they don't seem to be learning it the easy way. You know, if you can't read signs, can't see posts, you shouldn't be driving a rig then. You know. But the thing is that apparently the GPS is always telling them to turn this way. Which I don't think it's true. In a way, I think it's true too, because it's happened more than once. There's been a couple of truckers that have been saying that, but I think they just want to turn here because they fucking feel like it, because they're assholes. But that should definitely put a hurting on them. Higher ones would have been nicer. Like even that stop sign one right there, you know, that's high enough. If I could get a couple of posts like that, which I can, but get them in like a 8 or a 10-footer, and then drive it in front of this guy, and then they can put their signs on that. That, you know, you be pretty good then, I think. But that right there should definitely make them think twice about their decisions next time. But, I mean, what are you going to do? So, but, yeah, like I said, they're not perfect, but, you know, what are you going to do? So, and depending also, well, I don't know if I'll have to. I think if I put if I could put a signpost right there in front of this first guy, that's really all I should need, because they turn, you know, they turn in so far. That one guy really freaking cranked her in here, and that wasn't freaking necessary, you know. So saying, because he turned right here, you can see that track right here. So if he comes doing that again, he'll be going head on with this first one, and that'll put some good damage on his truck. So. But, yeah, the reflective tapes, I guess, is not ideal, but, I may change that up and just put some cones on top. I think that'll help, because I got these little teethy things here. I think I can tie, if I get the wiring tight enough on them, I don't think they're coming off, the cones. You know, you really would only need 2. One for the first one and one for the one here on the end, so the road plug guy would know they were here. But like I said, I can get them cheap on Northern Tool, so I may do that. A couple of cheapies. They're actually still high quality. I've seen a YouTube video, or not a YouTube video, but I've seen a video on Northern Tool about them, and you can actually run those things over, those cones, and they'll just perk right back up. Not like the older ones where if you ran them over, they're damaged, they're done, you're not going to be able to reuse them. Well, these you can reuse. So, that's what I like. Because it would save you money on freaking cones. You don't have to keep buying cones all the time if they do decide to smash into them. But yeah, we got some snow. Freaking cold. Winter's almost here, boys. It's already freaking winter in some places. But, got a lot of work to do next year, I think, for sure. So, but yeah, so that's what should help. I think it should help. It's a hell of a lot better than what they had before. I still probably should put maybe some kind of a gaming camera there, you know, and catch them on the film doing it. But I think I got enough evidence of truckers doing things wrong that I could probably literally take this company to court over it, you know. So, but yeah, I don't know. You know, they had about 4 trucks here today, and they started coming in, I swear, at like 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. And some of them are fucking loud, sitting here idling. So, but on the positive side, you know, the CB radio works a hell of a lot better than it did before. It still, I think, needs to go higher up, but like I said, there were some truckers here. And I said, well, how the hell is it? I'm going to turn the CB on in the house. Now, I knew that it would reach out to them here. Because, you know, they're just right down there, right? So, I turned on the radio. And I figured, well, maybe I'll see if I can hear some truckers. Maybe they'll say something before they leave. Sure enough, there was a convoy of 2 trucks here. And one guy said, are you ready to leave? And the other one said, yeah. And they sounded just crystal clear. And my SWI readings changed again, and now they're actually at like a 1, whereas before they're at like a 1.4 or 5. Well, they've actually gone down now, so I guess maybe everything just had to get kind of broken in a little bit. I'll check it again maybe later tonight. I want to remove the meter for the SWR meter from the radio, but I'm not done with it, so I just keep it hooked on. Because I got to be able to get my range further out now, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. We will do it next summer, because I'm not going that far out now with the radios. And as of right now, it goes out far enough. It goes up to the farmyard there, so you know, I actually used the radio a little bit today too, just as another check, and everything seemed alright, so everything's working like it should be. It's just the range is so short. That's a hell of a lot better than what the other setup was, but I think it probably needs to go higher up. Maybe that'll do some other stuff to the radio too, I don't know. So, but yeah, so there you go. I got those put in the ground now. They were a pain in the ass. Well, I decided to take a break for a little while because I got frustrated at that second one. I was like, what the hell's going on? I thought maybe I was hitting a rock. So I moved over half an inch. No, it happened again. I was like, well, that can't be that big of a damn rock. So I was like, okay. I figured maybe there was some frost there or something. So I just, like, I'm going to go in. I went and checked the radar, and I said, well, by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it should be a little bit warmer out. Well, it only went up like 1 or 2 degrees, which can make a difference in temperatures for stuff, but while I was waiting, it didn't come to me until about 3 or 4 o'clock. Well, what is it now? Well, it's got to be almost 4 now, but it didn't hit me until about 2 o'clock. I was like, God damn it, I should go out there with a screwdriver and poke the ground and see if I can find, you know, to see if it's frost or if it's actually a rock or what the hell to do. But yeah, sure enough, I find some ice. So I guess we know what's going on under here, but my camera fucking died. So I guess that's pretty much it for this video then. But yeah, there is frost on the ground already, so that's freaking lovely. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.